was just an experiment. Right, time to add a new game to the roster here. Ah, no! 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 Evil! Some folks will be familiar with the game I'm about to launch. Hey, at least this time we have audio running for the beginning of the stream. I cannot believe I did that. I appreciate the follow, Williams. Yep, we're getting everything set up over here. My apologies. I am fighting with a resolution on HammerWatch, but we're going to be getting that launched in just a moment here. I'm trying to get this to go to full screen, and it's pushing it to the wrong monitor, so that's a fun little challenge. Let's see here. And every attempt at a full screen resolution here is getting real wacky, I gotta say. Okay. Head back there. Okay, okay, okay. Let's go over here to games real quick. Yeah, we're doing an early stream today. I've got plans for later. Whoa, hello? Hello, HammerWatch? Okay, I guess you could just completely vaporize on me. That works too. I have plans to do an additional stream later this evening. I do not know when that will be. It will likely be after my normal end time locally here, so when I have a better estimate for that, I'll probably send out an alert, but expect to pop up, you know, somewhere after midnight Mountain Standard Time. Okay, let's see if HammerWatch wants to work with me this time. We're still missing the entire bottom end of the screen. Why? Why is 1366 by 768 a more realistic resolution? Why is shrinking this and moving it manually also an option and better than every other resolution this is offering me? What? Oh no. Oh no. Oh fun. Now we have a bar at the top of the screen. Cool. How about this? We'll just lose the side. I don't have a much better option than that. And let's snag this transparency and shrink me down. Just wait a sec. I don't have to do that from here. I can do it from here. What? What? Much better. Okay. Wow. Wow. That's a lot of music going on for this game. Okay then. Sheesh. Let's turn all this down. Okay. Put this over here. Move this over here. And let's see if I remember how to play HammerWatch, because it has been some time. And I think it's required that I just play as the ranger. Hi there, Koi. How's everyone doing today? See if you can find a way out. We'll wait here. Okay. Is this? Oh, yep, that's... Alright. I should have plugged in my joystick for this. In fact, I might actually do that. Hello? Somebody want to tell me why hitting left... Huh? Huh? That's definitely not mapped correctly. Up, down, left, right appears to be bomb, bow, some other attack, and something else that's not happening yet. Where is... I just had a controller out recently for this express purpose, actually. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ba 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 da ba. And we'll see if HammerWatch remembers any of these settings, because these would have been saved on like the Steam cloud. Move that over here. Accidentally drop myself. Okay, controller? Maybe? No? Let's see. Options. Controls. Controller 1. Rebind. Start. Skill 1, 1, 2. Do I have auto fire on or something? 3. Oh, we could do this as a twin stick by default? Not really. What is this? Game. Oh wait, what if... Did I have to... Nope, that didn't do anything. I love it when games want to play along. Nope. Alright, well, I guess we're doing this on keyboard then. Oh, what a weird way for that to work. Okay. So I have piercing attack, but only up to one target. I barely remember this game. Fun little roguelike, but I haven't played it in about 10 years. And I think experience is relevant, or it might be that gold is the experience. I'm also playing the old version of HammerWatch, not the new Heroes of Hammerwatch, which I know adds a bunch more content. Part of the reason that I haven't actually picked up that one is because I know that HammerWatch 2 is coming out soon. And knowing how good of a job they did on this one, and how much fun I did have with this one when I used to play it consistently, I'm willing to see what number 2 will look like officially, considering that everything else up until this point has been considered just basically minor patching and updates. Alright. Okay, so those are mana-based bombs. That controller isn't working, so there's no reason to keep it plugged in and in my lap. I'm glad my my primary damage is doing enough to one-shot most of these. Some of these larger targets, not so much, but... Alright, got somebody over there. Does food get eaten if I run over? No, only if I'm injured. Good to know. And somewhere around here is a secret, but I will have to remember how that works. Okay, so hold is pause movement. Interesting. Where were the other ones? Options. Strafe is space. So fire in same direction while moving. Potion is F. Okay. Well, that's handy. Ah, that's also handy. There's a thing over there. It must be a mana crystal. It's also a thing here. Oh, I see. There's what I'm looking for. Still trying to remember these controllers. no! Oh hey, I should also do something about that just chatting status. Let's see here. This one is HammerWatch. The original. HammerWatch Classic. New and improved taste. So is it... Uh-oh. I hit a button. Uh-oh. I somehow clicked outside of everything. Okay. Found a potion. No idea what it do. In the true sense of roguelikes. Is there a way for me to tell? Options. That didn't help either. So I'm assuming, okay, just health potion, I guess. Seems like that doesn't actually do a whole lot of damage. What's this say? One-way teleport to floor 3 if you're more experienced because you'll miss a lot on the way. So basically if I want to speed run through content here. Let's see. Nothing else here yet, so we'll continue down this way. Hello. Okay, that's pretty nice. I will admit. Activated a checkpoint. I wonder how useful, like, how well those actually allow me to save. I feel like I'm playing my Huntress from Diablo all over again. Lead everything into an area. Set off a giant bomb. What? I have to like think about that every time. I don't just automatically strafe. What do we find here? A vendor coin. That must be useful. And whatever that was. Ah, must have been money. Splot. Another vendor coin. So the limitation on arrow distance appears to be roughly 1 screen. This information won't be handy immediately, but later will be relevant. What? No, no, I don't want things that shoot. Gross. Go away. Ow! Poison damage. I'm glad that my dodge is like high enough that I'm able to just manually walk around the incoming rounds. Bit of a bullet hell after a certain point if you let too many enemies get developed in one spot. Alright. Got a vendor coin. I could have sworn there was something else here, but I guess not. Let's see. Let me also go in here and game. No, not that. Controls. Rebind, auto fire, up. Since that's the primary attack anyways. There we go. There's a certain limitation on how many keys keyboard can press. And even though this is a gaming laptop, it does have a threshold where it starts getting really weird about number of inputs. And so do my hands. That characteristic is known as ghosting. And when you see keyboards that are listed as having anti-ghosting, that's what they're talking about. Is you'll be able to press more than one key or more than 5 keys or however many. Now I remember the era of like pre-PS2 serial port keyboards where ghosting was you got 3 keys and that's it. So if you're trying to do Control C, Control V, that's not too big of an issue. But if you're trying to put up, left, shift, and control, which would be in some cases like alt fire, a weapon move, and then like trying to run in 2 directions at once in any first-person shooter, i.e. Doom. If you didn't have a keyboard that could ghost past 4, it couldn't handle that input in the first place. And so there were actual like hardware limitations. Got another checkpoint. We got copper key for over here. A button? What's the, oh, okay. Alright. What's over here? Ah. Strange plank. Let's see. Got that key. I know that for the most part this game has like fairly linear progress, but there's some spots that you can come to that are secrets where you only get like one direction you get to go with a key. Okay, well what what are they for, buddy? Says star this way. I don't know what that means. Star that way. Okay. Vendor coins. Give you a price reduction in vendors. It can be seen down right in the vendor panel. Interesting. Also, we're up to like 1,000 coins. Looking good on money. I don't know how much anything's worth in this game anymore. Okay. I guess let's go through there. Is there really nothing? Oh, okay. It goes up that way. What do we have over here? Just a little lockbox room. Okay. I want to say that I used to play this in hard mode, so it'd end up with like way more bombs inside barrels. Might have just been that I kept putting my face in them. That was like why the game would throw them at me. There are several stores in the game. Some are hidden, some are easy to find. Use these to upgrade your hero. Combo. Killing 10 enemies in quick succession triggers a combo which increases move speed and damage for a short while. Sounds good. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. We'll see if I can make this activate. Exiting a floor also saves your game the same way waypoints do. Floor 2, Prison Act 1. This is where the maps start getting weird. Okay. So now it's like relevant to have groups of enemies stacked up the way I was for a minute there. Also, the combo chain is very short. Gotta do a lot of damage really fast to get it going. Okay, that gives me an idea of like what the combo wave even does. Probably won't buy it in the future. Ow. Hmm. What's that? An orange? Now the maps start going up and down and throughout each other. Health pool, mana pool. Okay. So that one's like stat upgrades. The other one was abilities. So we got different kinds of vendors too. I legitimately thought that was going to go off in a different direction. Level 2 abilities. I feel like I should have saved my money. have a silver key now, and I don't even know what it goes to. I could play this entire game in map mode, I'm realizing. That would drive everybody else insane besides me. That's the way I used to play the original Doom. What's frustrating about all that is, like, I'm using my abilities to the best of my ability to actually make use of that bomb. I could just stand back and strafe like this and dodge everything. But it feels like it's just completely neglecting the fact that I even have the bomb. I don't know what its normal use case really is. Ow. This is also frustrating me because I'm trying to aim right and it's just not turning the character that direction. Hello, everyone. Hello. Whoa. Oh. Okay, where... Level 1 vitality. I see. And then there's another route up that way that I didn't take either. We could definitely use more health. Let's take this route. Let's see what's over here. Whoop. Ah! Okay, so I was supposed to go here. And this takes me to right back here. What was the point of that? Huh? Wait, what? Okay, the route out of here was this way. Okay, and this one's got a sword symbol instead of a star. So I'm probably gonna want money again. Now in offense. I wonder if that means new attack abilities. Okay. Where does that leave me to go? With the golden down there. Go over this way. Is it just me, or is the map infinitely looping up this direction? Okay, maybe I did just find my way out. This music, it's not great. I think the part that's like killing me on it is it's just repeating, and it's only like 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. Hmm. I see. All right. Puzzles worth extra lives. Ah! Oh, those bombs. They scary. Alright, 3 euros. Alright, so those are worth 50 gold. Those are worth 10. Good to know. I've been curious about that for a minute. This is 1, 5, 10, 50. That's a lot of bats. Aha! Okay. That gives me a better idea. Okay. Red spikes are deactivated. We can head through here now. Checkpoint. Very nice. A golden key. We can open that big door now. This is a chance puzzle based on luck. No one has gotten all 4 rewards. No one. Not a single person. Ever. Not even my ex-wife. Who totally has. You win some. Woof! That was close. Okay. I have an exit down this way. Yeah, that strafing command is a little crunchy. Hey there, Milky Taro. It's good to see you. There was no way to really effectively dodge that. Even if I had stopped shooting, I couldn't have run away per se. There's holes in the... Oh, this thing. I see. Bloody Hydralisk. Nice. Let's open this room. Yes, I want this. Why wouldn't I want this? Bow damage. Bow penetration. From 2 to 3. Ooh. I think for now I want single target damage though more. Penetration will be nice later. I will not elaborate. Think this is a secret? I thought that was a secret. Oh, is it that I already got the secret here? I think so. Some healing? No. Yep, I already got the secret here. Okay. So where was that big gold door? And do I want that big gold door? Oh, it's right there. Cool. Well, that helps. It looks like it's really the only way forward, too, so... Hello, bugs. So many bugs. Let's see. Another copper key. Bronze key. This opens what? Something. Only 3 more to go. Interesting. I wonder what that is. Well, combo is active. I don't think I can put down the bomb. Oh, that's the thing. I thought that was already deactivated. Only 2 more to go. These little beetle buddies. Little beetle buddy. You think you're safe, but little beetle buddy says otherwise. Copy key, copy key. Okay, so that's one of the sigils. Grab some healing. Where? 347. I still don't have enough to buy that thing. Oh, I just got absurdly hungry. Weird. I just ate. Ah! And that beetle's just sitting on top of that glyph. Okay. The fact that it takes the enemy the second to actually hit you when they get close is interesting to me. I wonder if that's a thing that's like in all difficulties or that only just normal mode. Sequence completed. Loot, 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 loot. What we get? What we get? Money and money. Okay, I guess that works. I wonder if that's enough. There's like 700 per upgrade for that, though. These spikes are disabled on easy mode. Interesting. Well, I guess that gives me an opportunity to go look at the price of this. $6.75. Okay. Not too far off. Ah, I trusted way too much in that strafe. See, and this one's a star symbol again, so this is gonna be combos level 2, which is stuff that I don't even like. I don't have the money for. I want the bow penetration way more than I want more combo stuff. I wish it was a little easier to go at a higher velocity in this game. $600. Getting there. Okay, so enemies respawn. This is good to know. If at any point I manage to figure out a way to make enemies drop items, that'll be extra handy. Okay, and that's the way up to there. Very nice. Alright. Let's not die. One of these still. Ooh. Wait a sec. Okay. I had to go look. I don't want to get attacked by the cool one with the mohawk. Okay, let's see if we can get whatever... Oh, is this a puzzle, or is this just a push all the buttons? Definitely winning the range game against some of these enemies. Okay. Each act contains 3 of these special buttons. They need to be activated to unlock the boss. Ah. Furious beetle. Watch us from a distance. Ah! You turn into more beetles! I don't know what that other thing was. What was that? Ah! Delicious coins. Found a strange plane. Interesting, there's an Ankh hidden there. Okay. Ow. Nice. Feeling good about that. Also, nice on the house. Alright. L2 combos behind this wall. So let's go take a look at what's available, but still a lot more interested in the other stuff. Also, these coins, are they worth more? They are. Increase the Nova from 6 to 12 parts and damage from 12 to 17. That would be pretty nice. Not sure. Nah. We're gonna go for the increased damage penetration. Thankfully, we've been cutting all these, like, secret passageways through the walls, so it's a lot easier to actually get to them. That's vitality. This person is vitality. Wait. Huh? Where were they? Way up over here, I want to say. Yep. I cannot believe I memorized that. Yes. More stabby per bow, please. Thank you. Oh, I didn't need to activate that checkpoint. Dang it. Okay. Quickest route's gonna be this way. Oh, my allergies are kicking my butt right now. Okay, we're also about to... Looks like we've hit the 1 hour mark. Would you folks be interested in seeing more of this for the next hour, or should we switch games? Let's see. Just leave that sit for a moment and jump over here. Alright, putting a poll in. Let me know what you folks think. Until then, I will continue doing this. Oh, that's pretty nice. Alright, now we got defensive abilities coming up. Nice. Alright. There's a switch hidden inside that wall. A secret shop has been revealed. Ooh. Oh, different types of potions? You can get a rejuvenation right now. Okay. That's interesting. I don't need any of these. Oh, is my connection skipping? Hmm. Let me take a look here. I might be having some weird connectivity. More HammerWatch. Well, that's a good boat. Okay. Oh, I've seen some stutter in my avatar. That's for certain. Let's see if turning on graphics acceleration can do anything for that. Hmm. Game 2. Okay. Well, we'll see. Okay, so we're able to go back. Let's quit this real quick and see if we can get this to behave at all. We will drop a couple applications. Oh yeah, HammerWatch just hung on itself. Close program. Hopefully that didn't destroy my save. I have a feeling it may have. Hmm. I'm looking now though. I have 26 hours logged on Steam on this one. Okay. Well, it's saved. I guess let me know if it keeps doing that. No more skipping. Nice. I think it may have been Discord or Firefox, both of which tend to chew up system resources pretty badly. Alright. Okay, so those spikes are still active. We got another one of those tongue monsters attacking here. Wow. After a while, the music starts to just kind of like blend together. It's funny because it has a real Warcraft 2 feel for me. Not enough pan flute though. Okay, so we got a bunch of copper doors. Enemy spawn points. Copper key. A hole in the wall. Okay, that did something. I must have hit another button back there, but I don't know where the button goes. It's a lot of bugs. It's a lot of bugs. Love the Minecraft dirt noise. Good stuff. These are all just normal. Nothing hidden here. Oh, it's funny, I killed Firefox, but I actually need that to monitor my own stream. I have to put it back. Let's see. Partially just because I need to see what the results of that poll were. I'm pretty sure it stayed the same, but... Yep, it stayed the same. Oh? Big Sis Cat 13, thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Hope you enjoy the show. Do a lot of roguelikes around here. Lately, I've also been doing Diablo on a semi-consistent basis, and we're working on getting some more collab stuff going soon. Today we're having a bit of a chill, off-schedule stream, compared to what we normally would too. Usually I'm late nights, but got plans for the evening, and wanted to still be able to share some time with you folks, so thought I'd drop in early. Alright, so we got this door or this door. One or the other. I guess we'll do the top one. Ah, a bat. I hope that was the right decision. I'm starting to question if it was. Got another bronze key. Okay. So no switches hidden here. I wonder where this goes. Ah, okay. I also wonder if that means that I haven't even found gold coins yet. What I've been picking up has been copper. So, was there any other spot on the map that I could have gone that I skipped? I know I skipped some fights, but... Oh, those guys can drop money. That's the boost. And those are the spikes that I can't go through yet. And then we got this over here if we want some more money. Which, of course we do. Why would we not? Okay, large crystal orb is mana. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Ooh, what's that? Plus 5% damage. Interesting. What's this? Plus to movement? And a bunch of 1-ups. Wow, we're doing really well here. Apparently I bought everything you have for sale. That's fun. I did not pay attention, though, to the walls. Are there any secrets? No. Okay. Always trying to keep an eye out for those switches. And, like, the cat's eyes in the shadows. That's another type. Wait, what? Huh? That must lead to something later. Through a wall activation or something. No! Oh, I just got a sudden craving to play Knock. That's one that I need to mess with again. Get out of here! No! I got legitimately trapped there. Okay, you I cannot talk to. You're just too far into the middle of that. What are you? A spike deactivation? Okay. Okay. All right. So those spikes, oh, we have to get blue spikes deactivated now. Got it. Only 3 more to go. That's not ominous at all. Blue spikes deactivated. I'm gonna run back over there and say hi to that vendor. Curious what they got. Armor. Increased damage reduction from 0 to 1. Or 10% chance to just completely ignore damage. Why wouldn't I choose that? Oh, we have enough for both. We're doing both. Sorry. Good thing you hear that dodge chance. Show me your moves. Drops a bomb. Another one. Only 2 more to go. Wait, what? How do I get there? Ow. Didn't dodge that one very well. Let's see. No! No, 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 no. That's a lot of... That's a lot. Feeling a little Vampire Survivors here. Well, okay. Run back over here, I suppose. Nice. Oh. Okay. A bat log? Is that what that's supposed to be? A log full of bats? Bat log, stardate 99345. Hey there, Busta. How you doing, hun? We're doing a short split shift stream, and we'll continue in a few hours, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. It is partially dependent on how late everything goes this evening, and partially dependent on how much stamina I really got, because I did not sleep well last night. It's been rainy. Oh. Nice. Okay. That combo is pretty nice. Oh, I like this little pseudo puzzle. That's fun. Oh. So much loot. Found a secret shop. Alright. Level 2 combo stuff, huh? Let's see what you got. Nothing I can afford, and it's all the same as the last one. So it tells me that levels are consistent as to what they offer. If you see a tier 2, it's going to be generally the same as another. I could be wrong, but based on my observations. Whoops. Ow. Wait, I just dodged that one. Nice. Is it really a secret when it's right there? You can see them. More health. With more mana. I think right now the health is more important. Oof. Memories. Core memory unlocked. Don't want that one though. Okay. We hit a little checkpoint here. Oh, interesting. Enemies' projectiles are capable of destroying furniture as well. I wonder if their drop rates are any better than mine. What if an enemy was inherently more lucky than you, and you had to let them do the looting? I could see that with like a loot goblin. Wow, that strafe continues holding for a while. Let's see. Bat stump. Combo 49. Backlog. Stardate 99999999. I had no idea that that switch would be there. That very much saved me. How much do the vendor coins actually decrease the price of anything? Because I haven't noticed anything, like, substantial from that, per se. It must be, like, 1% per coin. Something happened. That's not ominous. Just hitting the switches and hoping for the best now. Like, a lot of the time I don't even need to fight these. They're not giving me experience, per se. Okay, I got a backtrack ability. Got a lot of 1-ups. Even after losing 5. Also... Ah, the last sigil's right there. Now hold on, is that all of them? That can't be. That's everything there is to find on this map already. L2 Vitality. Button over there for saving. Ah, hey there, NMK. It's good to see you. You're not late. I am super early. I'm actually thinking I might cut pretty shortly here because last time that I did one of these split shifts, I was late to the show. And I want to give myself time to be able to do makeup and costume and all that. But it is wonderful to see everybody dropping in. I super appreciate all the support. Is there anything up here? Okay, just button. What's this one? Rah! I open door. Oh, that's ominous. I like it. The Queen. Temporarily protects from damage. Oh, okay, 17 coins is minus 8.2%. I see. Really not good at all. Also, the potions cannot save me. Hey, try the buttons next to the Queen. They could prove useful. Okay. Wow. Oh, I see. The Queen says oomph. Oh, wow. Okay, danger. Oh, no. Woo. Okay. We are having some problems here. Nope, not gonna make it. Oh wow. We've only done half our health. I got shot by arrows from above? Oh, at least I don't have to restart the whole fight. I was thinking I was gonna have to, like, do the whole thing from beginning to end this way. No! Oh, wow. That's a lot of damage. Aw. An attempt was made. Alright. Queen slain. A passage has been revealed. Interesting. So we left that with what? 3 lives less? Not too bad. They even give us one more on the way out. That's rather polite of them. 5 up? Whoa! Okay. Act 2. Got a whole shop here. Oh, combo timer might be nice. Combo healing. because I don't have healing otherwise. Now I have minor vampirism. Oh no, my skirt's doing weird things. Skirt, why are you doing that? Don't do that. Entire selection. Cancel. There we go. You know what? Yeah, we'll call it here. I need to find a room to go through that'll count as a checkpoint. Looks like that'll work right there. Okay. Saved game up in the top left. And yeah, we'll come back to this one. It's a fun little game, and it's still getting support from the creators, honestly. I'm kind of surprised by that, because I want to say that I played HammerWatch way before I moved away from the Howling Plains. That's wild. Okay. Oh, now let's see. Let's see who else is doing what online today, and see about doing a raid. Jump over here real quick. Looks like. You know what? Let's go say hi to Mousy. Wow. Wow. And we'll do a green glow dog raid. Where's my music? I have music. Where'd it go? Oh, that's why, because I killed Firefox. That would explain that. There we go. Okay. And yeah, as I was saying before, I will try and be back on later tonight, but we'll see how well that really works out. I do not know. We'll find out. And yeah, everybody go say hi to Mousy.